with you being in sports and being basketball and COVID came and we all had to pause. Yeah. What's the hardest part so far that you've encountered both as a mom to a student athlete and as a business person? Because we couldn't go to practice. You couldn't go to any game. You couldn't see your teammates. You couldn't see your coaches. You couldn't see your friends. Like, how have you coped with it?
It's been tough, right? I mean, it became a routine, right? It's a routine in your life that you're just so used to, like my son has been playing sports, soccer and basketball since he's like 5. From 9 has been playing since he was like forever. So it became a routine, and then all of a sudden, it just stopped. Like, it stopped cold turkey. So that routine is kind of like, I guess you're missing it to some degree. But it also gave me like a time to just say, you know what, let me just breathe. So with that being said, like my son, he misses it. So right now there's no games, but, I am getting him some training done. He's, still being kept physical, things like that. Like in the summertime, we did a lot of like outdoor basketball. I would take him to the basketball court and just rumble with him and, try to keep him still active and stuff, right? As much as possible. So now sometimes he's practicing like 3 days a week, 2 to 3 days a week, right? And he doesn't complain about it. He actually loves it. He enjoys it. He doesn't complain at all. He knows this is what it is, and yeah, he's ready for it. So yeah.
That's such a good key point to make, that he doesn't complain, because one question I always ask in all my features is, there are certain athletes or certain families that feels that, this is what the child wants. That's the only thing they need to do. And this is all you do, breathe and eat and support. And I always wonder, like, from your perspective as a mom, how early do you also think it's early to really specialize in it? Because for yours, you said he started playing soccer on and off, right? And obviously he's an athletics person. Yeah. So how do you maneuver that aspect of it to say this is all you're going to specialize in, or it's not really needed? Or
no, I agree with you. I try not to be that parent. Like, yes, when I'm at the games, like just like how you are, we're like cheering, we're getting excited, but I try not to be that parent that's just like, you have to do this, you have to do that. Like, as in, like, I don't want him, like, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm more, for my son, a soccer person. Like, I think my son, Trusten, is like, to me, like, I'm like, I just want to just play soccer. But I don't want to tell him what to do. Right? Like, I don't want to be like, you got to go forget about basketball and play soccer, because basketball is something that he loves, right? He enjoys soccer. I think he's pretty good at it, but his passion is basketball. So I don't know. It's so tough. It's so tough. I think forcing these kids to do something that for me as a parent, because I played sports, because I want him to do it, it's just not the right way, because you know what, it might backfire later on, right? Yeah. So just let them be kids, let them enjoy playing, get the training, just let them just be kids. Like, sometimes I think we grow them up a little bit too fast. Yeah. And they just, it doesn't allow them, because at the end of the day, some of these kids that are fantastic now at, age 8 or 9, they may grow up to be like, 15, 16, even 17, and they're just like, you know what? I don't like this sport anymore. Or they may not be as talented as they were because they were pushed so hard, right? So
or they were not protected wearing knee pads.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah. Okay, so that's a pretty good point. That's a good point. And just trying to find out more from a mom's perspective too, because I try to make sure that we're there. When I say support each other, we support each other. So from your side of it, how has the sports mom community in terms of moms been towards you? Do you see it more as very divisive or more united in helping your child grow, as well as you grow and being part of the team? Or do you see more like a chess where everybody's on their own?
No, everybody, like, especially because I've been on a couple of different teams, they've been very supportive when it comes to Trusten. Like, and him, they know that he loves the basketball game. Trusten can be a hothead, as everybody knows, but he loves the game and so forth. But it's been a very supportive community. I can't complain. Like, I've had like, you know, friends that are like coaches now. They're just like, hey, bring Trusten, like, bring him, let him train with me. You know, I have tons of people that are just like, you know what, they have my back, even on and off the court, right? You know, they'll check in and be like, you know, how's Trusten doing and stuff like that. So to me, it's more than just basketball. It's, you know what I mean? Like, it's a family, right? An outside family, you know, besides the, you know, being on the court and stuff like that.
Exactly. Try to get a full holistic view for the student athlete or the person, so it's not just come in, bounce the ball, and go.
Exactly.
And when it comes to also the relationship, I know that I asked about the parents, but how about relationship with coaches or the leagues and things like that? How does that, like, what do you look for when you're looking for a team to make sure that it meets the need of your child's talent and level and connection with the team?
You know what? The game is so different now when it comes to basketball. It's so competitive. Like, sometimes I feel like the fun of the game has been lost, right? That's just my feeling, right? Because I played the sport and I know, like, sometimes I'm thinking I wish, my son grew back, whereas back in the days how we used to play and I just laughed and had fun. Now it's just like, it's like cut and dry, right? So I wish we can kind of somewhat go back to that. I know that, the competition level is different. I know that there's, higher places to go now. It's like in terms of that, but these kids they're kids still, right? And I think we're losing the focus for that. So some coaches, you have amazing coaches out there that I've met. My son's been on teams where there's been awesome coaches. And there's some coaches where you're just like, okay, is he going to get a chance? Like, he's young. Yeah. He's only like 7 years old. He's only like, 8 years old. Let them all just play. Who cares about the winning and stuff like that? That winning stuff, you're not going you're going to win today. You're going to lose tomorrow. It is what it is. As long as they get on that court and they're all having that same opportunity. And I always say that whatever team my son goes on, I'm like, listen, I just want all these kids. I'm not giving my son any favoritism. I want all these kids to have the same opportunity. I want them to all, because when they leave, when they get off this court, this is the stuff that they're going to remember. I don't want my son to remember, I had to cry to be able to play, or I was sad, I don't want to go back. Those are the things that, those things stick in their heads. It's in their head, right? Yeah. So let them just allow them to be kids and give them all the same opportunity. As they get older, it's a different story, right? But right now, come on, there's some of them at the time they were 7, they were 8, they're 9, even 11. Like, give them the opportunity. You might be surprised. You might be very surprised.
Exactly. And I think that's where, when I had the talk with Hannah, we're talking about, the underrated aspect of it, that everybody always look at the high level, people moving a lot, but the one that comes in for 5-10 minutes make a bigger impact, and then the one you have playing the full 24 minutes or whatever, who's obviously tired, needs a break, but needs to relax and sit down for a bit, So it's good that I guess we do have that open relationship with coaches, because the coach needs to be able to step back and take it from a parent's perspective as to, okay, these are the students, the athletes I have, and which way can I best get them to get to their next level. Yeah, so I'm glad at least you speak up and advocate for that, because it is important. From my side, I will speak for even other players that I see need to get the shine, as they call it, not just my kids, right? Because it's a unity, and it's a unit. It's a group sport, not an individual sport. So when it comes to those type of sports, I'm very focused and positive and making sure that that works out for the betterment of everybody. So kudos to you on that.
A lot of coaches are like, oh God, here comes Stephanie. They know. They know. Yeah. You know what? I just, when I look at these kids, and there's been there's one tournament I remember, like, I was crying, another kid was crying because they just wanted to play. It was just a tournament. I thought in my mind, it's a tournament, guys. Let the kids play. Give them all an opportunity, right? And I'm always like, I'm for that. I agree. If I had more time in my day, I would take up coaching, but I just don't have any more time, right? Because I think, and it's not just for my kid. There's other kids, right? There's so many other kids that I've seen, like, sitting on the sideline crying, like, I only got a minute to play, and other kids are leaving there happy, and, and that kid's crying. Why does that kid need to cry? And then he's only like 9 years old. He shouldn't be crying. He should be smiling and leaving the gym. Win or lose, that opportunity, he remembers. That's opportunity. He's like, I was able to help my team. Because that's what they think.
Yeah. And help my team because I'm not playing, right? So. Yeah. I agree. Oh, good. I don't know what. Yeah. Don't worry. It goes on and on, but we're good. I would just encourage other parents to always speak up as well, too, not just for your kids, but for the other kids as well. Because at least for us, our kids are being so early in they're in the game for a while, but they're still early in their ages. If we don't speak up for them and their teammates, it becomes, a very cutthroat type of feel. So you have to make sure that first of all, they enjoy the game, they like it, and it's something that all of us as a family get together to go and enjoy. So when this COVID thing is done and we're wherever and we go out and we're able to actually compete, I'm hoping that there's a different mindset in being more humble and acceptance of others. And it's not just all about the winning. As I always say, those are just empty cups and empty medals with just engraving on it. It doesn't really matter anything. They just hang in the room. But the experience is what people
exactly. Yeah,
and it's good. And I think that's where we come in more to speak out for them. So let's keep doing that. And I applaud you for also doing that as well too.
Thanks.
Now, that's all in a good world and everything. But what if you get into a situation where the coach is just like, no, it's my team. I make the shots. I call this, and I'm going to have your kids only played just 2 game or 1 game of the 3-game tournament and stuff like that. What do you say to that? Because there are, and I have some situations where some parents are like, "Oh, it's okay, it's fine." And meanwhile, my heart is boiling. Like, no, it's not. No, it's not.
It's not okay. But like I said, I think a lot of coaches, because my son has been on a few different teams, and like I said, a lot of coaches know my son's a hothead, but I'm also one of those parents that just doesn't feel like my son, I don't want my son to be one of those kids that has to shine. That's not what it's about for me. I want my son to grow as a player, and I want him to get that experience, and because I don't want him to ever hate the sport, and I don't want a coach to make my son ever have to hate the sport.
Good.
So at the end of the day, if there's a situation that arises, I'm not afraid to speak up to the coaches. I'm not afraid, and a lot of the coaches will tell you this parent is just like, oh my gosh. But I'm not, unless I feel like I've talked to you and it's happening again, then it might get a little bit like, my voice might raise a little bit. Everybody knows.
Speak out.
But I'm not going to sit back and just allow it, because at the end of the day, it's my child that's being affected by you, right? You're supposed to be leading by example, right? When I'm sitting on the sideline, you are the coach, correct? But you're supposed to be setting an example and allowing a lot of these players to once again have that opportunity. That is your job. And if you feel that my child, or another child is not at the full potential that you want them to be at, then you need to tell that parent, so that parent can either move on or they can decide to stay. But the worst situation is when you talk to coaches and you ask them, because I ask coaches, listen, if any coaches are seeing this, I've come to coaches and said, hey, where's my son in this? Like, is he going to get playtime? What's happening? Like, I just want to know. And the coaches will be like, yeah, your son's good. Don't worry about that thing. And then when game time comes, I'm wondering, okay, so what happened to my son? Like, he may have got a minute, 2 minutes here, 3 minutes here, maybe not even a minute, right? What happened? So that's the stuff that bothers me, because if you came and you were honest with me, then hey, it's all good. So it's just being straightforward from the get-go, right? Hey, you know what? Your son has the potential, but right now we're looking for A, B, C, X, Y, Z.
Exactly.
Right?
There's a question that just came through that says, is playing time supposed to be guaranteed? I would say yes, but the length of time that comes to is where we come in to discuss it. Because let's say you have a tournament out of town. You have prepared everything that you can to make sure that you're going to see your child also participate and be part of the team.
at this stage, especially in the OBL that we are in, the way it's sanctioned, it's fair play. So every athlete is supposed to get a chance to get on the court and play for a certain amount of minutes. So when you get to another level where the coaches are making those calls and saying, well, we want to take a bigger lead, or we want to win, we want this, and we want you to be a bench warmer, keep cheering. Okay, that's part of being a team. That's fine. But if you're there for a 3-4 game tournament and my child has not touched the court in any of those 3-4 tournament, then I kind of question myself, why did I drive this far to come there? Right? So yeah, playtime definitely has to be guaranteed, but it's not guaranteed. I won't want you to say that he just touched it for 2 seconds to fill in while the one you want to shine gets a couple of breaks to drink and then comes back, not as a filler, because every player has their strength in where they play. So in each position, every team or every coach, if they really have built a team, will have 2 point guards, 2 power forward, 2 this, 2 that. So they're kind of back up with each other. And that gives us sort of an equal time and you will know when you have a big center guy that's tired, take that player off, put another one in. So it's not so much guaranteed that you're going to be guaranteed the full 24 minutes, but it's fairness. It's just having that fairness to allow them to also put your talent out, feel like they're part of the team. That's my view.
But what I also find is when a lot of coaches have those star players on their team, as they call them, I find that they allow those star players, and like I said, I've experienced it, I've seen it, they allow a lot of those star players to get away with a lot of stuff because they don't want to take them off. And that sets a bad example for those other players that are riding the bench that want to show them, hey, like, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go in, I'm going to show you. Now, but when you're allowing a player to dribble through 5 people or whatever, and you've spoken to them, fine, you give them a chance, and they're still doing the same thing. That's an opportunity for you to take that star players, as you call it, take them off, regroup with them, talk to them, and that's another opportunity for that other player to go in, because you might be surprised that other player that's going in might do exactly what you just asked that other player to do, right? So it's once again, I always say it's giving that player, those players, an opportunity, because you think that that one player is your shining player, but you might be surprised that person that you have sitting on that bench might very surprise you even more than that player that you think is your star player. You might be very surprised.
Exactly. And to me, I think it comes down at the practice level. If you can see how the practice is being handled, and you can speak to it until and not wait until a game or competition comes into play. So for any moms or dads who's not 100% comfortable in saying, oh, I don't know if my child is getting enough play time, just take a chance during practice and see how the coaches are handling or, talking to each of the players and how they're doing their play. You may not know what the calls of the games are, but you can tell from an outsider, because even we watch on TV, we make calls that we think refs should make, but as in we're the experts in it. You can tell and see which role your child is playing in and make sure that they do get the opportunity to also showcase, because they have shown interest in the sports, in the field, and they are good at it. And for you as a coach or league to accept that means you see something in there. So it is a business, as I said in the previous series before, it's a business, but these are kids too. And I'm talking about kids up until the age of, say, 15, they're kids too. They're humans and they're learning. This is not, they're not going in and clicking and being paid for anything right now. They're just learning and being the fundamentals of the sport. So, Natty, I hope that answers your question there.
Natty's very familiar with this. Natty's like a coach. Natty's a big time coach, and he runs tournaments and stuff. He knows, okay? So Natty, if you're gonna answer that question, speak up.
It's a good valid question, because everybody always, just compare it to a higher level. You have your starting 5, they play a certain amount of minutes, and other people are bench warmers, and you get dressed up and you just sit there and cheer. And if that's the case, that's fine. But they're at a higher level where they are paid for, and that's your job. But right now we're learning. we're at the fundamental stage of making sure that the students or the athletes understand the purpose of the game and they love the love for it from such an early stage. So as you said, if they don't have that love and the continuous for it, when they get to a certain age and you still love them in soccer, they'll be like, no, Mom, I don't want to do soccer. No, I don't want to, right? And who knows? That's where things might change if we're not consistently on them for other aspects of their life. As
and
students.
I think that's why I don't like to keep Trusten in one sport. Like I don't, right? I want him to play another sport. Like I like that he plays soccer too. Like in the summertime, it's just soccer, right? Because at the end of the day, as he gets older, he might change his mind from basketball, and then, you know, there might be an opportunity. He might get a scholarship in soccer and not basketball, but he had another opportunity. I just don't want to have him stick to one, right? I want him to have different opportunities, right? And I'm thinking even boxing. I don't want him to just stick to one thing, right? If I had, it's just the room in my schedule. But right now, if I can put him in another sport, definitely.
Yeah.
He's into this gaming stuff. It might be gaming. He might get something. We don't know these kids.
YouTube. Anything, coding, whatever. There's more to it than just dribbling a ball and shooting it and cheering it. And I'm totally with you in making sure that they diversify their skills in so many ways that lead them into whatever it is that their talent is, can lead them into it. Because even being in sports, it's not always the people that are shooting the ball and kicking the ball that have a career. There is the what's it called? Those who are keeping track, who are doing the editing, those who are doing the video, those who are doing the pictures. They're still part of the sports, but it's not necessarily the individuals on the field making the game that is becoming the only athletes in there. So good point on that. And again, hopefully answered your question, Coach Natty. Hopefully I said it right. Okay, so moving on now. We got to know a little bit more about your business. We got to know a little bit about you.
Yeah.
Is there anything specific that you need from the sports or the Ballermont community to help you out, especially once we are slowly getting out of the COVID? And I believe we will get out of it, because this timeout is longer than a timeout on any TV shows that I've seen. So yeah, we will definitely be getting out of it. But what do you need to, you know, for individuals looking to prepare for the next season? Because here in Ontario, our season is going to start supposedly somewhere in January, February. And when it gets there, what would you like the community to provide support for you?
It's more like, you know, networking and, you know, like reposting and so forth. Like I said, I can't really complain too much about the ball community. I've gotten so much support for my business from so many different people. I'm very grateful. That's why a lot of times when I post things, I'm always like, thank you, because you'd be surprised. Like, you know, a couple weeks ago, I got a call. Somebody told me about that you do customized knee pads. And it's like, great. Like, you know, I'm not even advertising as much as I used to, right? And other people are still, you know, referring other people to me. So, I mean, like, I'm thankful for that. Like, I can't even tell you how much I'm thankful for. Like, hitting up, you know, sometimes, you know, talking to coaches and saying, hey, you have a tournament, you know, can I come? Like, Natty's even one of them. And he's like, yeah, sure, 100%. And then, you know, other coaches even hitting me up, hey, you want to come to a tournament? I'm having a tournament. Like, last year was crazy with tournaments. Like, I was getting coaches hitting me up a lot, and I was hitting up coaches too. And they're just like, I guess it's nice to see that we're all, you know, we're all connected, we're all working together, and they know, like, hey, you know what, here, you want some items? No problem. You know what I mean? It's nothing off my back. You know, supporting each other is, you know, that's how we're going to grow together, basically.
Yeah, it's true, because even sometimes you'll be going to a tournament, you'll tell me, are you going to be there with your stuff? I'm like, no, I didn't know that. So, but thank you for that. I mean, you're right. It is a small community, but it's still big when it comes to support. So, for all the other parents out there, whether your kid is in second year, first year, third year, whatever field they are, protective gear is so important when you're playing a contact sport. Steph is a person to go to. UK, Denise. So is that the only thing you provide, actually, now that we're talking about it? What other products do you provide?
I have, like, I brought a couple of items. Well, everybody knows about my knee pads, so I didn't bring that. But like I have like the body shorts. I even have these, like, it's crazy. I have them in like youth small. Like they're like kids that are like probably like 7, even 8 years old that are like skinny. Like it's crazy. I have the arm sleeves. I have the headbands, of course, I'm wearing it. I have the vest, the vest that basically protects your ribs, and the body shorts protects your tailbone and like your hip area. So if you get that fall behind you, there's protection. Like I said, I have tailbone issues now, right? I took some hits in basketball, like jaw issues, TMJ, like tons of stuff. Like I said, protection is the key. It's the key. People may not think about it now. It's later on. It's definitely later on. So and then the greatest thing about my items are you can customize them. So a lot of even having a parent, connect with me a couple of weeks ago and ask if they can, put their logo on my product, which is great. Like that's what I want, right? I want them to feel comfortable rocking something. Yes, it's my product, but it's also them feeling comfortable that I can put my logo on something, right? It makes them feel good about themselves, right? So I offer that package as well.
That's good. And where can they find you? I know we're recording it will be saved on Instagram. I will post it on my
so I'm on Instagram. There's Facebook, website. They can email me, they can call me, touch base with, like I said, a lot of the coaches and stuff, they'll connect you also. They'll give you my information, but
And you service only just Ontario or all of Canada or US? Where?
I've so surprisingly, like last year, I've sent some items to the US also. I think you know about that. So I have sent some items to the US, but mainly Ontario, like Timmins, some other names I can't even. Bradstock, all these places that I've never even heard of. Ottawa. So my products out there. Hamilton, different places.
Good. All right. So now we're gonna wind down to Friday. I like to wind down with Fridays.
Yes.
I never tell you what's in there, but
I'll be having mine later. I'm just drinking water right now.
Oh my God. I call it rapid fire question or quick get to know question. Earlier I asked you about who inspires you, and you did mention a couple, a good friend from Sister Keeper. So then I would like you to finish the sentence for me. So in the next blank, I see myself or my business blank. How would you complete that sentence?
I want to say 2 years, but I'm hoping COVID would be over by tomorrow. I'm going to say, okay, I'll give myself 3 years now. In the next 3 years, I hope for my business to be sort of worldwide.
Amen.
Yeah. I really do.
Speak into it and
speak into existence, and it'll come to pass.
Great. And if a movie was to be made about you, who's going to star, Steph?
Who would star? I have to pick a celebrity?
Anyone. Doesn't have to be.
I would pick myself. I would star in my own movie.
Why not?
I don't need anybody to star for me. I'm unique as it is. So I would star in my own movie.
Okay. And what genre would it be? Would it be based more of a comedy side of it? Serious, drama, mysterious, scary? What would you?
Oh God. Action with a little bit of like sensitivity and a little bit of like I would say more action.
Good. Mine's more like Fast and Furious, I guess. Who knows?
Yeah, more action.
And what is the one sort of life
suspense
motto?
Sorry, go ahead.
What's the life motto or statement that you live by?
The statement that I live by is the sky's the limit for me. I actually have that tatted on my back, and it's always been something. I remember a WNBA player at actually one of Sharon Butler's years and years ago when I was playing ball. She had like a camp, and one of the WNBA players gave me her shoe. And the shoe basically said, "The sky's the limit," and she handed me the shoe. And from that day, I never forgot that. And then I actually tatted that on my back. I put a tattoo on my back with that because that resonates in my head. There's no limit to what you want to do in life. Like, this is not just it for me. There's so much more that I'm going to accomplish.
Good.
Yeah.
And you have a good support system. So of course, it's going to happen. From where you started to here, like, I'm so happy for you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's good. It's good. And then lastly, but not last, what is the one thing that you've done just for yourself recently?
I've been trying to do, like, I love massages, so I've been going out and getting massages, pedicures, manicures, like trying to just like have me. I've been trying to do like a lot of road trips and stuff like that and just sightseeing. I never had the opportunity to do that because I'm always like I was always on the go. So now that, like I said, things are down, that I've been doing a lot of me times, like just enjoying life a little bit more, until the hustle and bustle comes back. Right?
Yeah. It's hard at first in the beginning. It was like, oh, wait, we got to pause. And I was like, oh, great. And it's like, no, we can go. Then you're like, are we going? Are we not going? Are we going? It was the unknown. Yeah. So I'm glad you're taking that time to sort of just let it be and not worry about it. And safely, of course, with the mask and everything. And people do wear your mask, whether you believe it or not. Please do, because that's the only way that we can all get back out there and play and enjoy the sports that we all love to cheer and support so much.
But I think that with saying that also too, because you said, me doing the traveling and so forth, I think one of the other things for me mentally, not only physically but mentally, is the working out aspect, right? For me, the first couple of weeks of COVID, I was eating like crazy. I was eating ice cream. I was like cookies. I was like, oh my God. And then I had to, like, something clicked and was like, you can't keep doing this. If you don't know how long this is going to last. So, and the gyms were closed. So I was even more down because I'm an advocate for the gym. Like, I was going to the gym after work. I was tired, but I was like, I'm going. But I was seeing results. So, it helped me. But also, like I said, it helped me mentally. It helped me, keep calm. It helped me think rational about decisions. It's gym's not just physical, it's mental. So yeah, definitely taking more time for that. Even though the gyms, like, they're starting to open up, I'm still doing my home workouts, right?
Yeah.
So,
Okay, and actually, speaking of the gym aspect of it, you are a very active person. You do sometimes post, all the different exercises you're doing at home. So for some of us moms who eating is a sport, what would be your words of encouragement to sort of snap out of it?
Just keep at it. I know the initial part of starting is always the hardest part whenever you're working out and stuff. It's just like getting to that point. But if you just keep at it and you keep going, and for me, my motivation was, like I said, seeing the results, but like I said, not only physically, but mentally. Like, I was, even going home to deal with Trusten, like my son, I was calmer, right? Like, going from work and then going to home to deal with him and hearing whatever happened at school or whatever happened at basketball, whatever it was, my adrenaline would be pumping. But when I went to, from work to the gym, and, and I'm busting my behind on that treadmill or the Stepmaster, or I'm pushing the deadlift or whatever, I'm just like, and I get to him, I'm like, okay, that's not so bad after all. I was like, yeah, okay, I can deal with that. I'm good. I was actually, and he even noticed that too. He's like, Mom, you're calmer. I said, yeah, because I went to the gym.
The anger there.
When I don't go to the gym or I don't work out, then you see a different side to me. But yeah.
Okay.
So just like keep that as, you have a goal in mind, and whenever your goal is, just keep at it. That's it.
Keep at it, and you'll see it expand.
And you'll see the results.
It's true. Okay. Well, thank you so much. Is there anything else that you would like to share? Because I know Instagram starts to time out, and then sometimes it doesn't give us a time to finish the full hour.
No, just, like I said, thank you to all my, supporters, loyal supporters, new supporters, old supporters, coaches, presidents of, different organizations, parents, players. A big thank you from Trusten Knee Pads. I appreciate, you guys' support, your business. And this is, it's, COVID, COVID's here, but it's not going to be here for long. And
we'll be back at it again.
I agree.
Yeah, but I do appreciate, and Gifty, I appreciate you too. A lot of you guys don't know, Gifty's, done a lot of different things. She's over there acting a little shy right now, but she's, she built my website. She's done flyers and stuff for me. She's been somebody that's also pushed me a lot and has helped me along the way. She knows this. I appreciate her to the T, to the bone.
Darn.